ask this question anywhere and everyone will say perhaps yes. The question tonight to our Pakistani guests is, why does Pakistan, after having allowed this, continue to lie about how Sarabjit died? From Lahore, Admiral Javed Iqbal; from Islamabad, Ahmad Raza Kasuri; and Barrister Zafarullah Khan. Ahmad Raza Kasuri is a senior advocate in the Pakistan Supreme Court. Barrister Zafarullah Khan is senior advocate and president of the Watan Party. From Chandigarh, leader of the opposition, Congress leader Sunil Jakar. Naresh Gujral of the Shiromani Akali Dal. Mahit Jetmalani, senior advocate of the BJP, and Aryaman Sundaram, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, my first question is to our guest in Pakistan, Ahmad Raza Kasuri in Islamabad. Mr. Kasuri, I am shocked and surprised that your government statement today says that Sarabjit Singh died in a scuffle. In other words, a fight. When it is a known fact that he was attacked and murdered, what is the Pakistan government embarrassed about to admit that he was murdered in a Pakistani jail? Why are they using the word scuffle?
You see, there's no such thing as a statecraft involved in this unfortunate incident. It is at the most a confrontation or inimical relation in the death cell with some Alladita Chirag Deen, and the jailer should have taken notice of that.
No, sir. My question to you is on the statement. My question to you is on the statement. I'm asking you about the statement of the government of Pakistan, which certainly involves statecraft. Why is the Pakistan Foreign Office statement on the murder of Sarabjit Singh terming the attack on Sarabjit Singh as a scuffle, indicating that a fight broke out in the prison between Sarabjit and his other inmates? It was not a scuffle, Mr. Kasuri. It was an unprovoked attack with the intention to kill Sarabjit, planned by Pakistani inmates at Kot Lakhpat jail. Even you know that, sir.
You see, Sarabjit Singh was arrested in 1990. He was involved in a bomb blast in Faisalabad, and then on espionage charges he was tried and sentenced to death.
So you're avoiding my question.
His mercy appeal was
also... You're avoiding my question on the use of the word scuffle.
Answer. You let me answer. So he was sentenced to death. Only his death sentence was pending since People's Party took over, because there was a thinking going on in the country that death sentence should be eliminated.
So I think
this is certainly a personalized conflict.
No, sir, three times. So three times I ask you, why is it called a scuffle?
Sir, it's not state.
Is it a scuffle?
Statecraft is not involved.
Of course, statecraft is involved in the description.
That's right.
Sir, no. Statecraft is involved in the description of the incident. Statecraft is involved in the description of the incident by the Foreign Office.
Don't stretch it too far.
Sir, I am not stretching it. The word scuffle has been used by your Foreign Office. Your Foreign Office is lying.
We are already having a very tight rope walking as far as Indo-Pakistan relations are concerned.
1 minute, sir. We'll talk about Indo-Pakistan relations later. I'm first asking you, do you admit? And let me put that question. You see, if the government of Pakistan wants to lie,
it's a personal conflict.
No. If the government of Pakistan wants to lie, if the government of Pakistan wants to lie, then it must lie with some semblance of facts behind it. Admiral Javed Iqbal, let me ask you that question. Why is the Pakistani government lying in its Foreign Office statement?
Look, you see, the scuffle is the proper word, and you are forgetting one thing. Government of Pakistan has ordered a judicial commission, and you are quite aware of that. A judicial commission is not for every scuffle. This is for a very, for not every
Why is your government describing a murder as a scuffle? So why is your government describing a murder as a scuffle? Why is your government describing a murder as a scuffle?
Unless unless the Judicial Commission finds it to be a murder, then the government of Pakistan will only say what is apparent. You know,
Sir,
government of Pakistan has established a judicial commission.
Sir, I'm sorry.
Let the judicial commission.
I am so sorry.
Judicial commission
I am
come
so
to
sorry.
a conclusion.
At least I
You
thought
cannot
that
prejudge.
nobody's prejudging. But let me tell you, sir, school children have scuffles. A person is not murdered in the course of a scuffle, Admiral. You get injured in a scuffle. In a scuffle, you don't. In a scuffle, you don't. In a scuffle, Mr. Admiral, what are you talking about? Admiral, I have exposed right on top of the program tonight the lie of the Pakistani government by calling it a scuffle.
Lie. It is the thing is when two inmates fight,
such a hard expression. See,
it is only a lie.
How would you like if I were to say that
see,
your Indian government talk always nonsense and makes wrong? See,
your statement.
Please don't use this
your
kind
statement
of,
would not be backed by any fact.
Please
and hence it would have no basis. But I want to go on this. I want to get in Aryaman. I want to get in Aryaman. Sir, please.
Try to solve the problem.
Sir, what is the problem? Who created the problem? Till the very last minute. Till the very last minute. Sir, till the very last minute, your government allowed Sarabjit to die. Sir, till the very last minute, India kept requesting Pakistan to consider shifting Sarabjit to some third nation for better treatment. Your country did not allow it. And your reluctance is linked to your upcoming elections on your soil. Since any show of goodwill towards India might boomerang and your government is too scared, your politicians are too scared, your caretaker chief minister has no power, he's worried about a political backlash, and it doesn't matter to you that it may have come at a huge humanitarian cost. And that's the fact, Mr. Kasuri. I think Pakistan should come to terms with the reality.
Chief Minister of Punjab has already instituted a judicial inquiry.
What judicial inquiry?
A judge of the Punjab High Court. Let the finding of the inquiry comes. Anybody who will be responsible, he will be dealt in accordance with law.
Sir,
why are you,
Sir, I don't even want to get into that. I want you to hear some voices from India now. I'd first like to go across to Aryaman Sundaram and then to Mahesh Jetmil. Hear some voices across India today, sir. Because I think this is a point of inflection. And I can assure our guests in Islamabad and in Lahore today that all Indians are saying enough is enough with Pakistan. I'd like to first get in Aryaman Sundaram, please. Aryaman Sundaram. Aryaman Sundaram, please. Your responses to our guests from Karachi and from Lahore and Islamabad. Mr. Sundaram.
Arnab, yes. Arnab, can I say that this is a most unfortunate development which has taken place in any kind of Indo-Pakistan diplomatic reunity. I am very sorry to say that the attitude which has been shown before, during and after has really been a great deterrent to any kind of putting a hand out towards some kind of diplomatic coming togetherness. What is the most unfortunate part of it is we all know that the relations between Pakistan and India are brittle, that people of Pakistan, people of India are slightly suspicious of each other. There was a hope that with India has been trying to hold out a diplomatic hand. And this particular incident of Sarabjit Singh, and I'm not talking just about his murder and the aftermath of his murder, I am talking about the entire Sarabjit Singh issue has been made a pivotal factor for the ongoing or the forward moving of Indo-Pakistan diplomatic movement. And unfortunately, Pakistan seems to either willingly or I would hope for their own internal political reasons, hesitantly not accepted this hand of diplomacy and have not taken advantage of a situation which could have come about had they dealt with the Sarabjit Singh issue differently, especially since India was making it a center of a diplomatic reunity. And I'm very sorry that the attitude even today appears to be that to encourage the hawks in India rather than the doves. And I think now people in India are really saying enough of the velvet glove. and let's please take out that iron claw. And if the government of India does not do so, unfortunately, the people of India are beginning to doubt their own government in not having an iron claw at all under the velvet glove. And all I can say is that Pakistan has done a lot to contribute to a situation where the people of India are going to feel that we have to take a very hard stance against Pakistan, whereas I can tell you that most Indians never wanted this. Most Indians want India and Pakistan to be friends. But
sure.
Unfortunately, this has created enough suspicion among all Indians.
Well, I think rather than doves and hawks, what's happening now is that a large number of Indians are becoming realistic as far as Pakistan is concerned, including
that's the unfortunate fact that we are now beginning to find that to be realistic, we have to accept that Pakistan has no intention of showing any kind of peaceful gestures to India.
And I'm sure the government, I hope the Indian government is going to put some pressure.
If two sovereign state diplomatic relations are linked up with a terrorist, well, then your attitude is unfortunately
Sir, I'm very sorry,
negative.
Mr. Kasuri. Mr.
Well,
Kasuri.
I suppose I also refer to your reaction after the murder, during the murder, during the incident, prior to the incident, when you were warned about the possibility of such an incident, allowing the incident to take place, and your reaction after the incident, and your reaction even today in passing it off as a scuffle.
On the wrong side, they'll be dealt in accordance
So it is not a lapse. Mr. Kasuri, with the greatest of respect to you, I must insist. You know it is not a lapse. And yet you are hoping that all our viewers across India will believe it's a lapse. It's not a lapse.
You mean to say that an attack was on the basis of a state policy?
It is a premeditated act. It is not an act of coincidence.
Not.
It is a premeditated act.
You are too much.
No, it is not. It is not.
Sorry.
Let me give you 4 reasons. Let me give you 4 reasons. Reason 1, there are multiple statements issued by terrorists in your country. Multiple statements issued by terrorists in your country who wanted revenge by attacking Sarabjit. Number 2, there is a number of letters written by Owais Sheikh to Pakistani jail authorities and your government, which your government did nothing about. Number 3, in a letter to his sister, Sarabjit wrote about the threat to his life, and that was also made public. Number 4, there is on record an ex-inmate at that notorious Kot Lakhpat jail of yours who has said the same thing. And number 5, you are fully aware of how your country is run over by terrorists. Knowing all of this, sir, even you know it's not a coincidence. Let me get in Barrister Zafarullah Khan of the Watan Party. Barrister Zafarullah Khan, do you believe Pakistan can still call this a coincidence?
Yes.
Can Pakistan still call it a coincidence?
The situation. Just a minute, please. I condemn this act really and sincerely. And there's a lapse of security, no doubt, in jail. There's a lapse of, I believe, in the treatment. If we are not able to treat him well, I couldn't afford to treat him in a way which should he survive. I think we should have moved it to the third country and given back.
No, why didn't your government move? Why didn't your government, when India kept requesting, let him come back? My question to you once. So why did your government not allow him to die in India?
Yes, that was true. It should have been shifted to India. The third thing, we are ignoring a lot of things in here, because I will give you the legal situation as well. He was no doubt, his death sentence was commuted 2012 to life imprisonment, and he has already served the life imprisonment, which is 22 years and above. And I think he should have been released, but unfortunately Indian High Commission was ignorant of it, and his council was ignorant of it. Otherwise this might not happen at all, because you should have the proper information. This lack of information, lack of information on both sides, which has created this incident. Now question is, why shouldn't we let him go? Please, I believe if in Pakistan we didn't have that treatment available, so there is no harm.
So why didn't your government let him go? Why did your government not allow him to die in India? Simple. Why aren't you frank with me tonight?
No, I didn't want him to hold them back in Pakistan.
But why was he held back?
I'm always saying that.
Why was he held back?
No, look. There is a lack of information on part of Indian Commission.
No, sir, absolutely not.
He should have.
No, absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not. The High Commissioner met the Pakistan Foreign Secretary and urged the government to immediately release Sarabjit on humanitarian and sympathetic grounds so that he can get best available treatment in India.
Yeah, I said a thing before, you just ignored it. I said his sentence was commuted, life imprisonment. He has already served it. He should be allowed to go.
Why was he not allowed to go? No, why was he not allowed to go? What is the point that you were making?
You see,
what is the point that Pakistan was making?
Okay. Just a minute. If you think the council should have known it, the Indian High Commission should have known that this is the situation, they should have applied according to the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
They did apply, and they did apply, sir. And that's where, again, you see, I've proven here first that your government is lying by saying scuffle. Secondly,
no, I'm not talking about who's lying, who's not lying.
No, I am telling you, the government of Pakistan lies, the government of Pakistan covers up. And government of Pakistan was being implored, Mahesh Jethmalani, the government of Pakistan was being implored, don't invoke legal and bureaucratic reasons for not taking the right step to save a human life. These were the words, Mahesh Jethmalani. In your view, Mr. Jethmalani.
Say for a minute.
No, 1 second. Let's hear another voice from Mumbai.
Say for a minute.
Mr. Jethmalani, what was holding the Pakistanis back? Let's do some straight talking tonight.
They should not have held.
But they did.
That's what I'm saying. There's no harm in letting him go to India.
What I'm surprised at, Arnav, what I'm really surprised with is the statement of the second gentleman, Mr. Bahadur Shah, is it? I mean, what he has said actually astounds me because he is now telling us, and I want to be enlightened by him on this, because according to him, Sarabjit Singh was not supposed to go to the gallows, which is contrary to what Mr. Kasuri says. According to Mr. Bahadur Shah, his death sentence was commuted to life. He was never supposed to go to the gallows. In fact, according to him, he should have been released. He was due for release even from imprisonment, because remember, he was arrested as far back as 1990. Yes. So this man did not have any business being in jail, according to Mr. Bahadur Shah. Now, this is a very telling and significant circumstance. I would like him to enlighten us more under what provision did this happen, because Mr. Kasuri tells us that his mercy petition was rejected. Mr. Bahadur Shah tells us quite the opposite. Now, if that's the case, if the law was that his sentence had been commuted and he was due for release, why didn't the Pakistan authorities on their own release them? And what was, by the way, the Indian government doing? Did they not have knowledge about these facts? Were they not monitoring the future and the circumstances of an Indian prisoner who was actually a soldier of the nation and was in jail for alleged espionage? What was the Indian government doing, and why didn't the Pakistani government release them? And just one rebuttal to Mr. Kasuri. Mr. Kasuri says we should not reduce diplomatic relations to the level of a terrorist, assuming that Sarabjit Singh was a terrorist. What did the Pakistani government do? The entire assembly on Afzal Guru.
Hear him out, Mr. Kasuri. Hear him out.
Condemning it. What were you doing? You defended a rank, self-confessed terrorist like Afzal Guru. You defended in your entire assembly, passed a unanimous resolution. You are a rogue state which defends and tolerates terrorists.
No, you see, I mean, we should be less sentimental.
Sir, there is no sentimentality involved here. Sir, there is no sentimentality. What is only reflecting today is cowardice. What is reflecting today is cowardice.
Unconcerned was your government with his citizens.
It is cowardice.
It only proves you how unconcerned was your government with his, citizen. He was a spy. Why should we? It was your duty. It was Indian High Commissioner's duty.
Sir, the Indian High Commissioner did his job. Your Indian High Commissioner did his job. And please don't forget that Indians know how to treat prisoners. Don't forget, Admiral, that Kasab was kept. Kasab,
he was
kept in a high security jail.
Then you should respect
Kasab
him.
was kept in a high security jail.
He was a guy who killed 14 people in Pakistan.
Sir, Kasab, by the way, you have no proof of that? There were no witnesses produced?
What proof you have?
There were no witnesses produced. Sir, you have. Sir, there were no.
That it was not a scuffle.
Mr. Admiral,
you have power which you don't have.
Admiral,
you think we will just obey your orders? You are sadly mistaken.
Well, I think that you need to revise your own facts, Admiral, and look back at the statements of your own government in the circumstances in which he was killed. And I'm asking you tonight, Admiral, your Pakistani media, no sir, enough is enough. Your Pakistani media has reported Sir, is it true or not? Tell me. Is it true or not that Sarabjit's lawyer Awais Sheikh wrote as many as 15 letters to the Pakistani jail authorities saying there is an attack going to happen? There is an attack going to happen. Despite all of this, why did the Pakistan government not ensure the safety and security of Sarabjit in its custody and other Indian prisoners? You wanted to make an example of it?
Well, all these,
is this some Talibani style justice that you are implementing?
No, nobody
Sir,
wants
please.
Nobody wants it to be example.
Well, it has become an example.
It's just an incident.
Sir, it is not an incident. It is an inflection point. It is an inflection point. You have no idea.
Let me explain to you.
No, sir.
The judicial inquiry which is on, if the government is implicated or the persons are implicated, we can pay the compensation for that.
Sir,
this is a law in Pakistan.
Sir,
why are you worrying about it?
Sir, it is so shameful that you are saying that. I think you need to compensate your own conscience today by lying in your press statements and by allowing a murder to happen. I want to get in Naresh Gujral at this stage. Sunil Kumar Jakar is listening to this. Sir, listen to what Sunil Kumar Jakar. You see, this is what infuriates people.
To terror on your minorities,
sir, this
Muslim minorities, Sikh minorities, Christian minority.
Sir, I know that it is difficult. I know that it is
horrible.
Sir, I know that today you have run out of arguments.
And yet you call yourself
what have you done to the Sufis and the Ahmadiyas and the Shias? There are Shia mosques burned every day in
Yours is a Brahmin democracy, where a Shudra has got different tribes, Brahman has...
You don't talk about minority rights. You have no minorities left because you exterminated them in Pakistan.
See, try to solve your own problem.
Please do justice. Please do justice to Sanjay Dutt first. Then come to us.
Sir, don't be shallow in your arguments. I have a question for all the three Pakistan panelists. Give me one answer to it tonight. And any of you can answer my question.
Believe in that
no, I'll ask you a question and tell me tonight. Tell me tonight. No, tell me tonight.
Not answerable to
don't
you.
Malign,
sir, tell me tonight. I'll take my question.
Pakistan.
Take my question.
Conflict.
Admiral Javed Iqbal. Admiral Javed Iqbal, your country is today completely exposed.
You are assuming that we are answerable to you. There is a law. We go by the law.
Really?
And that law is
Judicial Commission. Sir, you want to argue on law? You want to argue on law? You want to argue on law? Then I will.
Move according to the law.
I will argue on law. There are standard minimum rules adopted by the UN Congress for the Prevention of Crime and the Treatment of Offenders in 1955, to which you are supposedly a party, though your country is a rogue state. What has happened as far as Sarabjit is concerned is an open violation of the minimum rules for the treatment of prisoners. Please, sir. And I'm talking about both civilian prisoners and military prisoners. No, sir, please. And I have one question for you, Admiral Javed Iqbal, because I've been seeing you on other Indian channels since this morning.
Yes,
and I genuinely believe, Admiral Javed Iqbal, that you've had a free run and you've not been asked a basic question. I am asking you, Admiral Javed Iqbal. Admiral Javed Iqbal or Mr. Kasuri, tell me.
Done with the Christians in Goa. You burned the Christian churches.
That's such outright rubbish.
What kind of a...
That is such outright rubbish. I will not just respond to you. I can assure you. Please.
You are a damn
that's all right.
You're absolutely a rogue state.
So that's all right. I will take that with some amusement. My question here is, tell me, why is there no report ever of any Pakistani terrorist being attacked? Tell me, why is there no report ever of any Pakistani terrorist being attacked by other inmates in order to seek revenge for the killing of Pakistanis? On the contrary, why do I always find reports about Taliban attacking prisoners in Pakistan to facilitate the escape of dangerous terrorists and militants and prisoners? In your country, sir, your country
by the Indians.
Sir, in your country,
your RAW is involved in Pakistan.
Sir, in your country today, unfortunately, in your country,
everything with very serious
Mr. Kasuri, your country is in such a bad and terrible shape that 400 terrorists escaped after a Taliban attack. 400 terrorists, did they escape after a Taliban attack?
That we are in such a bad shape.
That's our own concern. We will deal them our own way.
Really?
Don't bother.
You should be thankful.
Sir, it is so shocking.
We allowed the relatives to meet him.
Muslim minorities.
Sir, you are taking. Anyway, I don't want to. I want. Let's. I don't want to. I want to get in Sunil Kumar Jakar at this stage.
You are a Brahmin democracy.
So that's all right. I want
Brahmin democracy.
Mr. Jethmalani, please. Mr. Jethmalani wants to respond to you because I don't think any of our Pakistani gets the facts today to argue on. They are on shallow ground.
All these allegations, all these allegations can be just rebutted by one simple, undeniable fact by any Pakistani, and that is that your ISI harbored and gave refuge and protected Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad. Nothing can be a more damning indictment of your country and your people and your government.
Why are you worried about that? Let the USA worry about that. Why have you become, some spokesperson of USA? Let USA worry. Let USA punish Pakistan. Why are you worried?
We are just pointing out what a wrong state you have become. And
why
what
you
is your
have a pain
ISI
in your stomach? What is disturbing you?
Admiral Iqbal, if sources are to be believed, please listen to some facts. Sunil Kumar Jakhar, I want to get you in from Chandigarh. Sunil Kumar Jakhar, Sunil Kumar.
Let USA worry about it.
Sir, Admiral Javed Iqbal, let's be logical in tonight.
Yes.
Let's be logical in tonight.
I am saying that
let's be a little logical, sir. Let's be a little logical.
Are you their spokesperson?
Sir, let's be a little logical. I can argue on fact, and I will not respond to rhetoric tonight.
Let's not involve statecraft.
Sunil Jakhar.
Sarabjit was a spy.
It as a human problem.
And we have handed back the body. We could have held it back like...
Sir, you lied as far as Sarabjit was concerned.
You should be thankful.
Your country lied about Sarabjit.
He was a spy.
You lied about Sarabjit.
He was not distributing chocolates.
You lie about Sarabjit. Sir, the fact is...
We lost 14 valuable Pakistani lives.
Okay, tell me. I want to ask the lawyer on the panel. There are two lawyers, Barrister Zafrullah Khan and Ahmed Raza Kasuri. Tell me, if somebody is arrested and none of the statements that are recorded of the witnesses are recorded in front of a magistrate or under oath, and if the person is not produced before an identity parade, on top of it, if when the person is brought in front of witnesses without a magistrate present, the police inform the witnesses that he is the culprit.
Yes.
Can you implicate any person like that?
What you are saying is...
No, can you implicate any person like that? Is that Pakistani justice?
He was sentenced by a court.
I am telling you the facts.
Respect my court.
I have laid out the facts and you have no answer.
You see,
I laid out the facts, and these are the facts of Sarabjit's case. You have no answer. You have absolutely no answer to
the facts.
Yeah. I just said it because Admiral Javed Iqbal is going on about him being a convicted terrorist.
Identification.
If this is the fact, then we must obey the law and go according to the law.
Exactly.
The same law you have in India as well.
Exactly. In other words, I will tell you the facts. The facts in Sarabjit's case are not one of the statements were recorded in front of the magistrate was taken under oath. Sarabjit was not produced in an identity parade in front of a magistrate. Instead, he was brought in front of witnesses without the presence of any magistrate, and the police informed the witnesses that he was the culprit. You go and read your own media, Admiral Javed Iqbal, and you'll realize that this is why.
Why didn't your counsel agitated this? Why didn't your counsel agitated this before the court?
And also, let me tell you more shocking facts. Let me tell you more shocking facts before you call him a convicted terrorist. None of the 4 FIRs lodged in regard to the bombings contained his name.
Your statement is only fiction, fictitious.
Read your own media.
Your speculation,
read your own media.
Nothing real, no reality.
Read your own media. Today I am putting a mirror to your face. I am laying the facts out. This is your media, sir, not mine. You can attack me, you can say whatever. But this is what has come out in your media, sir. This is your media.
Had it been so,
this is the case.
Had it been so, if that would have been a serious legal lacuna.
Yes, that's what India has been telling you, that it is a serious.
Yes,
exactly. We have been telling you that.
Actually, you never had a good counsel.
Sir, for God's sake.
You should have a good counsel.
Sir, I have just told you, and you are admitting on Indian national television.
Yes.
When I am telling you the facts about Sarabjit, you are admitting today that the case against him was wrong.
You see, what I'm saying...
No. I first want you to...
Your counsel should have agitated this. Your counsel should have agitated this.
Sir, having educated you about the facts of the case, I want all of you to take back everything you said about him being a convicted terrorist. Take it back, sir.
That's what we say. They should have been agitated before the court.
Take it back, sir.
On the basis of judicial evidence placed before the court, and his case was proved by the prosecution
So you have no
beyond
answer,
any reasonable doubt.
So you have no answer, sir.
Beyond reasonable
So
doubt.
you have no answer, sir. None of you have any answer. Sunil Jakhar, what do you make of the defense being put by a guest from Pakistan today? Sunil Jakhar is a senior politician. He's the leader of the opposition in the Punjab Assembly. I would like to go across to him in Chandigarh. Sunil Jakhar, what would you tell to our guests in Lahore and Islamabad today about the travesty of justice that has taken place in the case of Sarabjit?
Mr. Goswami, I would not like to preach to the Pakistani journals, but I believe what he just said. One of the journals here said that we have to fix our own problems. And I think that's a very telling statement from the journal. We have to have our expectations of Pakistan in a realistic manner. We get very euphoric when we have very pleasant person-to-person, people-to-people contacts with Pakistan. But we forget what is the underlying compulsion that the Pakistani system has. This is a compulsion called ISI, the army. They have to cater to their whims and fancies, and whatever the people-to-people contact, or whatever this track to diplomacy and all these very pleasant contacts that we have, they are just a facade. Eventually it boils down to these hard facts, and we will have to fix these problems ourselves. I don't know what exactly these semantics we are playing with them, whether it was a scuffle, whether it was a meditated attack. These don't really matter. We know what it is a tit for tat. They try to make the score even with Afzal Guru's thing. So let's be realistic. And if we want to have a mutually understandable relation, I think then we have to talk from a position of strength. Of course, this is a...
So your party's government does not speak from a position of strength. No, Mahesh Chetpalani, it's all well said, but Naresh Gujral, it's all well said, but your party's government, Mr. Jakhar, with the greatest of respect to you, I don't want to get the Pakistanis panelists in this part of the discussion, but I want to ask the Shiromani Akali Dal, do you believe this Congress government speaks from a position of strength?
No, just a moment,
Mr. Gujral, are we being assertive enough, or are we being pusillanimous in our approach towards Pakistan?
UPA government, NDA government, we have to build a nationalistic awareness about this, because any confrontation, whether it is at economic level, whether it is graded response to Pakistan in whatever manner, will have certain costs. We have to prepare people for that. And moment
Sir, you're passing the buck. I'm sorry, but you're passing the buck.
That we will
Mr. Jakhar, Mr.
No, I'm
Jakhar,
not passing the buck.
Mr. Jakhar, you're passing the buck. You're passing the buck.
Enough is enough till we really mean it.
No, let's ask the BJP. I don't think there is an absence of a national consensus.
I heard you telling the journals enough is enough. Why are you telling them? Unless and until we are able to back it,
Mahesh Chetpalani is contradicting. Mahesh Chetpalani wants to respond to you, Mr. Jakhar, and after that I'll go across to Shiromani Akali Dal. To our guests in Lahore and Islamabad, I'm coming back to you in a minute. Yes, Mr. Chetpalani.
Yes.
You know, Arnab, I think we'll be doing a great disservice to Sarabjit Singh and his memory if we focus only on the Indo-Pakistan rivalry over here, or the Congress, BJP, Akali Dal differences. I think the most important circumstance is what the barrister gentleman, I can't remember his name, told us. Please let me say that is a matter of overwhelming significance that Sarabjit Singh's death sentence was commuted to life and he was due for release. That means that now, in the normal circumstances, the Pakistan government should not wait for any counsel from India. If a prisoner is due for release from jail, he should be released automatically by the government concerned or by the prison authorities concerned. Now, it didn't happen in their case. The irresistible inference as to why it didn't happen, Arnab, is that they were waiting to see what Afzal Guru did. They kept him as hostage.
Yeah.
When Afzal Guru did this, since India hung Afzal Guru, they had to appease their population.
So you're saying, Mr. Chetpalani, it was a deliberate extra constitutional killing. You are taking the position that Narendra Modi took today.
If this man was due for release, then your continued incarceration illegally of him was only to facilitate his murder in jail.
And you are saying there was deliberate oversight, Mr. Chetpalani. You are saying the Punjab government and the...
I'm not saying there was deliberate oversight. I'm saying there was complicity.
Complicity.
I'm not saying there was deliberate oversight.
That's the point here today.
Complicity by...
That's the point here. And two things have been proven. Two things have been proven in the course of the show, Admiral Javed. Consider this. You have two esteemed lawyers. When I present the facts of the case as presented by the Defense Counsel, they admit that this could have been wrong. And on the other hand, it is proven.
No, we have not admitted it. We said it should be agitated before the proper court.
Well, it was.
You have not done it.
It
Your
was
no good.
It was, and despite that, he was convicted.
That
He was due for release. You people have admitted it. Sarabjit Singh should have been released from your jail.
He was due for release. He was due for release.
Listen softly.
One thing this is not the way to hold a debate. This is not the way to hold a debate. Everybody is speaking. This is not the way.
Sir, please understand the sentiments of the people of this country. And please respect them.
We do understand that. We apologize for that.
The country has perpetrated on this man.
Oh, you are
lapse of security. Lapse of security.
Not a lapse of security. It is not a lapse of security. A person serves his term, and after that a person is due for release.
The reality
No,
is
not involved
your government used Sarabjit as a spy and then dished him.
Sir, he served
him like a tissue paper.
Sir, I can understand
that is the reality.
Sir,
your government of India used him and threw him like a tissue paper. That is the reality.
Admiral Javed Iqbal, I don't think you saw the statement of the government of India which said he's a brave son of India. Unlike your government, which sent its regular soldiers and refused to take back the bodies.
Yes.
Unlike your government which sent its regular soldiers to get defeated in Kargil, and after you were defeated refused to take back the bodies.
No.
You didn't take back your defeated soldiers' bodies.
You for release, but you did not bother about it.
You did not. You refused to accept that even Kasab is a Pakistani. You refused to take back your defeated soldiers' bodies.
22 years.
You attacked by stealth.
22 years
You
in jail.
attacked by stealth, and today you've been exposed on the Sarabjit case. Sir, please, Naresh Gujral, do you agree with the points made by Mahesh Jethmalani that to some extent a complicity must be investigated?
Arnab, I don't want to indulge in a shouting match or a blame game. Today, all Indians, and especially people in Punjab, are grieving. They are anguished, they are angry. And I do hope that our guests from Pakistan understand our situation. And I would expect them to offer sympathy, support, if not an outright apology. Why are we trying to damage relations between the two countries? We must, even at this stage, in Pakistan, if Pakistan wants to offer a hand of friendship, it must order a credible inquiry. An inquiry which is conducted by people who are known to be fearless, who are respected internationally. And you have human rights activists like Asma Jahangir. You have the International Red Cross. Please invite them. Please involve them. We want answers. India wants to know what exactly transpired, because in India we always have a suspicion that you have extra constitutional authority like the ISI, which indulges in these games and spoils relations between the two countries. So I would urge my friends from Pakistan to put pressure on their government, and I hope the civil society in Pakistan will rise.
Mr. Gujral, I can understand that you are saying that the entire nation of India must be patient. No, we'll be patient. But I'm saying something, I'm placing one. Who is being accommodating and who is being rigid? It's Pakistan that is being rigid. 1 minute. Let me prove to you. Let me prove to you.
Rigid.
Sir.
The rigid is you are not accepting that Kashmir is unsolved. It is an unsolved agenda.
Don't get into the Kashmir issue today. Don't get into the Kashmir issue.
This is not the issue today.
Don't accepting it.
Sir, let me tell you.
This is what I said in the very beginning.
Yes, Mr. Sundaram?
What I was saying all along, and this is exactly what I said. What has happened now is, whether my Pakistani friends would like to accept it or not, this has become an issue which is really opening the eyes of many Indians as to whether our attempts at diplomacy and friendship are being equally reciprocated by Pakistan, as to whether or not our attempts at diplomacy are being taken as a sign of softness, as a sign of weakness.
Exactly.
This is something which is really instigating many, many Indians today to turn around and say enough of soft peddling. And I don't think, and I must say, I personally don't think that's good for either country. And I only hope that Pakistan could have, especially when they knew the importance of this issue. And Pakistan, when they were repeatedly asked about this Sarabjit Singh issue, surely they should have known that the 22 years were over, he had been commuted and he could have been returned. There must have been an inquiry, at least a discussion as to how do we react to India's request.
Sir, we have accommodated you enough.
India's request, in which case they would have known.
No.
In which case they would have known well enough that this man had completed his sentence.
Sir,
and if they had known that, I fail to understand why a hand of friendship could not have been reached out.
That is why, because
in into a position. Allow me to finish, please. Allow me to finish. Why they should allow it to get to a situation like this, where we are once again wondering whether there is any sense or whether India is being too soft. And I'm afraid too many people in India today are beginning to feel that we are being too soft and we are being accommodating. A soft state unless we take a harder line.
Precisely, and we are being far too accommodating. You know, the point here is, Mr. Mahesh Jetmalani, let me just ask one of our guests in Pakistan, Mr. Kasuri, for example. Mr. Kasuri, consider how generous India is towards your country. Let me take the case of the 2611 investigation. Mr. Kasuri, just 1 minute, please hear me out. You see, the government of India is today preparing to receive a second judicial commission from your country on 2611 for a trial in Pakistan that is virtually a non-starter. You also know that. Not even all the witnesses have been examined in the case. Not only this, Mr. Kasuri, India has allowed cross-examination of 4 key witnesses of 2611 as demanded by the Pakistanis. This is despite the fact that expert advises against cross-examination. The special public prosecutor says no cross-examination. The government of India in the past said no cross-examination. This when the Pakistanis have also demanded the written statements of all the 4 witnesses. In other words, what I'm telling you, Mr. Kasuri, is that our country is so generous and so forgiving towards yours that we are bending over backwards to say, okay, you want this, you want this, you want this, it'll be done. We, in fact, if you have forgotten, a convicted murderer called Mr. Chishti was allowed to leave India because of his age, because of his old age, because India says it's an investment in the smooth relations with your country. That happened in April, sir. We know how to treat prisoners and you don't. We know the rule of law and you don't, sir. Mr. Kasuri, counter me on any one of my facts tonight.
Are you taking a law class? Or do you think you are addressing class 5 boys?
I'm telling you the fact.
You are teaching us lessons. You are giving us lessons.
I'm telling you the fact.
See, the fact is.
Am I wrong on what I said about 2611?
The fact is. Now, please allow me also to say something. If you are, that generous, be generous. Allow me to say something. The fact is, your government, your High Commissioner, and all the army failed to honor a soldier whom they launched as a spy. They used him as a tissue paper and forgot about him. This
Sir,
is the
you have
reality.
I am so sorry that you are using this kind of language. I must stop you from allowing. Sir, please have some respect for Sarabjit today. And understand that is the person who served.
No.
Please don't use these words.
I honor him.
Please don't use these words.
I feel he should be.
Yes.
You should give him the status of a shaheed.
He is.
After all, he laid down his life for your country.
Sir, let me tell you
he laid down his life for your country.
Sir, he laid down his life because your system allowed him to be killed despite his having served a sentence for a crime he did not commit. A fact which has been acknowledged by the 2 lawyers on the panel today, given the facts I presented before them. You should have reopened the case and allowed him to go. And because the case was over, you allowed him to be butchered in your jail today, sir. He was butchered.
What were you doing? Why were you quiet? You were so unconcerned about your prisoner.
Sir, I don't want to
get... You were not worried about your prisoner.
I've just proven one thing, sir.
You are not worried?
Sir, I've just proven one thing. On 2611, an issue that hurts us the most, a fact that stings us the most, we are being forgiving towards you, Mr. Jetmalani. The way we have extended ourselves on the 2611 Judicial Commission of Pakistan, your comments, have we not been far too accommodative already?
Our 2 surveillance plane was shot down in Karachi by the Indian intelligence and we took it very soberly.
So why
there
didn't...
could have been a war. There are two most expensive surveillance planes which were only Indian specific, and the Indian
Sir,
intelligence entered into the naval base and destroyed those
I'm telling you today. I'm telling you today, sir.
Enough is enough.
Sir, you are a lawyer. You are a lawyer. You are a lawyer.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I think you are very fond of your voice. You are very fond of your voice.
That's all right. You can continue, please.
Your voice is not like Muhammad Rafi.
Let Asma Jangir be member of the Inquiry Commission.
Sir, I'm not trying to be Muhammad Rafi. Let's not trivialize the argument, sir. I asked you a question on how we have been accommodating on the 2611 Commission. What was wrong in what I asked?
Let me say so. See, the position is, please treat it as a human problem. As a human problem, don't involve statecraft. As Sarabjit Singh was concerned, he was from a village called Pikiwan, which was earlier, before partition, part of Kasur subdivision, from where I come from. So I have, you see, lot of sympathy for him, and I feel sorry that in such circumstances he was killed, but that doesn't mean that the state of Pakistan is involved. It was a personal animosity and a scuffle between the two individuals.
Sir, Mr. Kasuri,
it should be treated like that, and it should be treated like a human, be dealt as a human problem.
But Ahmad Raza Kasuri,
statecraft
but
problem.
Ahmad Raza Kasuri, it was not an accident. All of India knows it's not an accident, and I know that you know. You know, Mr. Kasuri, it was not an accident. You know what is happening.
Okay,
just,
you know, I'm sure you know, I'm sure Admiral Javed Iqbal knows, I'm sure Barrister Zafarullah Khan knows.
Between two condemned prisoners.
No,
it was scuffle between the two condemned prisoners who already knew their fate, that they had got to be hanged.
No,
so why not kill another?
He was not going to be hanged at all.
If he was not going to be hanged at all, he had to be released. He didn't have to die like this when it was known that he would have to die. That's exactly the point.
No.
That is the point we are coming to. So that is the point. That is why. That is the point.
Yet,
that's
what I say. You should. Please.
You allowed this.
I wanted to say, please agitate all this before Supreme Court.
Which Supreme Court? The judiciary
Supreme Court of Pakistan.
The judiciary of Pakistan, which is a joke.
I'm not talking about Supreme Court of India.
The judiciary of Pakistan, which is a joke. Supreme Court of India has already done a lot in Sanjay Dutt case. The judiciary of Pakistan, which is a joke. Such a joke that even when the police inform the witnesses that somebody is the culprit, your judiciary considers it seriously. It's a joke, sir. I'm sorry to say this.
Can I say about the Sanjay Dutt case in India?
Well, let me tell you.
Can I say the same?
None of the statements.
In the Sanjay Dutt case in India.
Sir, don't talk about Sanjay Dutt. I'm talking about the fact that none of the statements recorded were in front of us. Sir, because none of the statements.
You have no right to dispute.
Sir, because
you have no right to dispute
Sir, none of
our Supreme Court,
sir,
please.
Well, you just said none of the statements.
Respect your Supreme Court, please respect ours.
None of the statements recorded in front of a magistrate was taken under oath. I do not know any civilized court in the world where things operate like this. Mahesh Jethmalani wanted to respond.
Supreme Court is a joke. Your Supreme Court is a hoax.
Please, sir. Mahesh Jethmalani, please. Mahesh Jethmalani wants to respond. Mahesh Jethmalani.
I'm sorry, let's not.
Mr. Jethmalani,
let's not insult Supreme Court of both the countries.
So we can disagree on that. We can disagree on that.
Look, Arnav, all I want to tell our Pakistani guests, finally, is that in this country there are people who are increasingly beginning to believe that there's a very small section in Pakistan that now really wants peace and friendship with India.
Yeah.
Aryaman has said so earlier, and he's what one would call a dove. I'm sure even he's veering around to a view that, you know, Pakistan is getting increasingly, extremist. And there's a very small constituency for peace that's there. That's the impression that is gaining ground. Naresh Gujral has said it in a more muted manner. And all we can say is that unless there is some genuine repentance shown for both 2611 and for the so-called scuffle in which Sarabjit Singh was involved, more and more people in this country are going to give up on Pakistan and leave it to the fate it actually deserves.
Naresh Gujral, you are a votary for peace, so are we. But what would you say to our guests from Pakistan today?
I would say that at the end of the day, we are neighbors.
Sure, sir.
We will remain neighbors. For God's sake, let's not vitiate the atmosphere so much. For God's sake, please order a credible inquiry. For God's sake, please satisfy India and Indians. But who did it?
Sensible.
And punish the guilty. but it should be an inquiry which is a credible inquiry. Because, as I said earlier,
It will be.
we can't wish away the fact that we are neighbors.
And please understand,
That is the reality of...
understand Admiral Javed Iqbal, Ahmad Raza Kasuri and Barrister Zafarullah Khan, that today, not without reason...
We want you to be our friends.
Sir, and everybody would like to be friends, but
friends.
this is not an extension of a hand of friendship.
Look,
This is creating a hostile atmosphere,
we have
sir.
ordered a judicial commission.
No, we want to do the trust deficit.
Look, I think the reality is
Let's wait
that we are going
for
to be
the
neighbors.
finding
It's
of the
about-
Judicial Commission.
The
and I'm
reality
sure
is
the Judicial Commission findings will be very apt and very judicious, and I'm sure
Okay.
they will convince
That's
you
it.
Okay.
equally, Siti.
You are welcome.
I hope so, sir.
that's, I think.
I hope so, sir. And
I
let
would
me
like to
assure you,
believe you,
let
sir,
me assure
also.
you, we'll follow where the Judicial Commission goes, just like you follow the 2611 Commission. Give us justice for 2611 as well. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on that debate. Thank you.